Get this loud ass music out of here. And we will be touching on two subjects. I'm Tam of the Tam BOTC channel. We'll be talking about two voice actors actually. Um, that will be Charles Martinet first as the voice of Mario, and then Peter Cullen as the voice of Optimus Prime. And they have also voiced many other great characters. They are some of my favorite characters to mimic the voices to and to have fun with. And yeah, from what was said, it seems that Charles Martinet is, I guess, retiring from voice acting in general, as well as especially they brought up the voice of Mario. But he will be traveling around the world too. Let me just read the article that Nintendo made or whatever. We have a message for fans of the Mushroom Kingdom. Please take a look. Charles Martinet has been the original voice of Mario in Nintendo games for a long time. As far back as Super Mario 64, my friend Dave also sent this to me. Charles is, by the way, also wasn't he in the Go Fish Mario game, as well as others older than that, or whatever? I'm pretty sure that was like one of his first, but I guess they don't want to remember that game. But Charles is now moving into the brand new role of Mario Ambassador with this transition. He will be stepping back from recording character voices for our games, but he'll continue to travel the world sharing the joy of Mario and interacting with you all. It has been an honor working with Charles to help bring Mario to life for so many years, and we want to thank and celebrate him. Please keep an eye out for a special video message from Shigeru Miyamoto and Charles himself, which we will post at a future date. Um, yeah, I feel bad, but I'm sure there's probably some reason he's stepping down or retiring. Maybe he wants to spend more time with his family, or maybe he wants to retire just in general from the voice acting. He's done so many great voices, even ones I was surprised by, like Parthenax and Skyrim. Like, what a freaking deep, awesome voice that is for someone who sounds like who does the Mario voice. Um, and he's done many of the Mario characters: Yoshi, Wario, Mario, of course, Luigi. I think Waluigi, but yeah, he's done a lot of the character voices, and he's done it for a long time now. And technically longer than Super Mario 64. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see him go, and hopefully, I would love to meet him myself. That would be great. His voice is just like as iconic as like Mickey Mouse's voice, and just as fun to mimic and do funny things with when utilizing those characters' voices. But yeah, like it's kind of sad to say and see. Um, but hopefully they don't do something stupid with the voice in the future. It still stays true to what Mario's character is like, and they don't like do pull a frickin' Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt was fine in the movie, but I prefer the Charles Martinet voice. Honestly, once again it's charming. I don't care if you think it's stereotypical or whatever. There are ways to make that voice not stereotypical by eliminating certain keywords or the way he says certain things while still, because it's still a voice at the end of the day. You can still utilize it as a voice rather than, I love how it did the volume thing, yet, hold on. Freaking this remote, like it doesn't want to. There we go. Freaking dumbass thing. I need to get new batteries for that. But yeah, hopefully they don't, like, he's not being kicked out for any dumb reasons. If he is being kicked out for dumb reasons, I don't think he's being kicked out in the first place. I'm just saying, if he is being kicked out, and it is for dumb reasons, I should clarify and reword that, then I would have problems with that, and I'm sure other people would. But if it's for personal reasons or whatever he's doing, he just wants to retire or something, then that's totally fine. That totally makes sense. It's the same with when Mark Hamill said he's retiring the Joker after Kevin Conroy sadly passed, and when what was the other guy who retired voice acting? Oh yeah, well we had Michael Ironside too. That I don't think he retired voice acting, but he said he couldn't do it for a while because of cancer he was battling at the time. Hopefully, we get to see one last go with a main game of Sam Fisher. Um, I don't know how to feel about the remakes on those, honestly, but yeah, I think that's all I have to say there. I can't wait to see what the update video has to add or say, so we'll have to see. Also, well, it would be cool if there was one last game he was voice acting for that would come out, and we would get to see. So I was hoping that other game they just previously announced, that previous Mario game, but apparently that's not him voicing Mario. So I mean, Mario's voice isn't too hard to do, but he's what we think of when we think of Mario. So he is Mario. So without him, I don't know what to think. Otherwise, like hopefully, I get to see still some great adventures with Mario. Anyways, wouldn't it be cool if it was Super Mario Odyssey 2 if that was his last game of the voice act? Just like with Kevin Conroy and apparently his last role, Suicide Squad. Hopefully that game's good. I hope that game's not garbage. Sure got all the things that people don't like seeing that we've been complaining about since the freaking garbage ass microtransactions and such. Yeah, let's move on to Peter Cullen. There's apparently people saying after the Rise of the Beasts movie, Transformers, that Peter Cullen needs to step down and retire from Optimus Prime. And the guy, Peter Cullen, shares the love that he wants to always be able to voice Optimus Prime. And voice acting isn't as hard as actually being there, like in Harrison Ford's case, for example, because Harrison Ford has to actually be there. You have to physically see him and everything, pull off his roles, and he just clearly can't pull off stuff like Indiana Jones anymore. He would be better for drama related movies or whatever. But yeah, Peter Cullen, it's a voice acting role. You don't have that same, you don't see the guy, I mean, you see the character when you watch the movies and such, and he's always the highlight and like one of the coolest voices, if not the coolest voice, and one of my favorite voices to mimic and utilize. I have an Optimus Prime mask as well as multiple other Optimus Prime merchandise that I love, and he's like one of my favorite Transformers in the entire series. I love his design. I want to do a dedication video to him, actually do the voice of Optimus, and I want to do more Optimus related voice stuff for the future too, because I love doing those voices as well. I can see why he enjoys it because it's such a badass voice, and he's done many other awesome badass voices. So whoever's criticizing him, if it's his dreams to go forward, let him be. Shut the frick up. Stop trying to criticize and say you know what's best for him. He is an adult. He can make his own goddamn decisions. You don't talk back to the guy with the godly voice. You dumbasses. Do you have that godly voice? No. You probably sound like a bunch of dumbass nerds. Anyways. But yeah, I hope to see more great stuff with him. Can I also criticize really quick Brandon Tenold Super Mario movie video review, as well as Holden Hardman's Transformers. Holden Hardman and his wife chose the Michael Bay movies over the original 80s Transformers movie. Bad move. Those movies are freaking stupid. I enjoy on a kind of like just fun level the first Transformers movie, maybe the third, but other than that, they're so bad. The humor's terrible. The freaking it's just a disaster. The only good part of them is sometimes Bumblebee, and mostly Optimus Prime. Even Peter Cullen, with bad dialogue and writing, can pull off dialogue sounding like an absolute badass. Make that bad writing and directing look cool in his moments. But otherwise, those freaking movies get more boring. There's just more explosions, more repetitive, not well thought out at all, mediocre plots, and mediocre ass characters and acting. That's just like, ugh, the humor. I can't even. I don't even want to with the humor. Like, frick the humor in those movies. There's only a couple of times I laughed, or there was a meme that came out of those movies that was actually good. Other than that, frick those movies. I love the original Transformers. It's kind of psychedelic, especially when you're inside. They're inside of Unicron. I love the art style, the colors, the freaking designs of the characters, the voice acting, the music is. It's still a soundtrack I listen to today, from time to time. I love it. Um, I love that it's like like any other 80s movie. It's going to catch you off guard with a couple of swears in it. It's like, oh my God, it's actually awesome. And I would also recommend watching Dr. Smooth's videos where they swear a lot more, and it's freaking hilarious. It's kind of like the ghost stories of the for Transformers animated G1 show. It's freaking awesome. I know you need the context of the show for that movie, but frick that. That movie had balls. It killed off important characters. It was freaking cool. It was fun as hell. Loved it. Fricking, that is the best Transformers movie, hands down. Frick those other Transformer movies, especially the Michael Bay ones. I don't know if there are any other Transformers movies, actually. I think the Michael Bay ones are the only other ones, and they fricking suck. If I had to rank it, I'd say S rank is the fricking 1986 Transformers, and then an A rank. Maybe I should just put it down to B rank. It would be the 2007 Michael Bay Transformers, and then C rank would be that third Transformers Michael Bay movie, and then just throw everything else in F rank, like especially Revenge of the Fallen and whatever the fifth one was. Oh, there's Bumblebee and frickin' Rise of the Beast. I guess throw those next to the third Transformers. Maybe. Oh man, they had such boring characters though. Like the human characters, they really need to frickin' stop with the human characters. Really, so the same thing with Sonic the Hedgehog. Same thing with Transformers. Same thing with Godzilla. Just throw the human characters away, please, or have more interestingly written human characters and don't show them quite as much. Just frick off with that. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless. Also, quickly, I was gonna say I wanted to roast the Brandon Tenold video. I love Brandon Tenold. I still love his Mario video. I just think when it came to him saying, when he came to his little part of him he kept making it a big thing throughout his video, that he's like, oh, people name this the worst. I've watched movies like Things, and you don't think that's the worst, as well as some other movies he talked about. I can't remember what they were. And I'm like, yeah, but those movies aren't as well known as Mario. Mario was well known and hated. That had a lot of hype to build up, and it had a lot of fans. It was a big, well known series. And it had a terrible ass movie with a really bad cast for the most part. I mean, some of the cast is fun. They're still miscast, but they're fun at least. And then I do think the Mario actor, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He was in Roger Rabbit, but he was a great Mario. I just like the Charles Martinet version better, as well as it's got that same feeling of like Mickey Mouse, that voice that Mickey Mouse has, where it's just an iconic voice and it fits the character so well over the years. And that version of the character, where that voice that those actors give, even Lou Albano or whatever, however you pronounce his freaking name, um, gave the voice to Mario. Like that worked for that time period and those versions of the characters, but I feel Charles Martinet works for a lot of the video game and other versions of the character. So I'm glad we actually got a good Mario movie, but frick off. Um, yeah, like hopefully we see more great stuff from Peter Cullen, because he still voices Optimus in some of the newer shows and such too, and he's fantastic there. And yeah, I hope to see more of him in the future. But you all have a awesome day. Oh, what happened? I didn't mean to do anything with the play. I will be doing more voice videos of Optimus Prime and stuff myself, because I have a lot of fun with that and I don't mind doing it. I love live streaming in general when I can, and I will see you guys next time. Once again, you have an awesome day, night, wherever you are.